Kamal Fayumi has been working at a textile factory in the Nile Delta city of Mahala for 30 years. He earns $200 a month, not enough, he says, to provide a life for his family. Now Kamal and scores of workers like him are putting their grievances to Egypt's new military rulers, in power since the ousting of Islamist President Mohamed Morsi last June.
I say to any president of Egypt, whoever he is, that the demands of the Egyptian people and Egyptian laborers are freedom, social justice, and the implementation of minimum and maximum wages. If these demands aren't met, then his fate will be the same as that of Mubarak and Morsi.
Mahala, 70 kilometers south of Cairo, was the cradle of the protests that led to the toppling of Hosni Mubarak in 2011. Since then, Mahala and towns like it have consistently gone on strike over working conditions and to push for greater transparency in the negotiations between the state-affiliated Egyptian Trade Union Federation and the government.
Unfortunately, the government only listens when workers are on the streets or when they stop work. But they don't listen to dialogue.
Independent unions have grown in number since 2011, but the authorities refuse to recognize them and often use the army to break up strikes. With an economy already struggling to cope with declining inward investment and tourism revenues dropping 31% since 2012, the government lacks incentive to give in to workers' demands for greater protection. The North African nation is heavily dependent on aid from Gulf allies to keep their economy afloat.
The state must sit down with workers to talk about what they can deliver and what they can't, and what the workforce could do. It has to be a sort of social pact to sit down with workers and to talk about what could be achieved now and what could be achieved later, and on what kind of timetable.
Mahala, like other working-class cities in Egypt, is eagerly watching the approaching presidential elections in May. Field Marshal Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is expected to easily win, but solving the economic crisis in Egypt will be a tougher challenge.